Hey everybody, this is Todd from Imperial County Office of Education. Glad you're joining us for episode number 6. This is the educator version video, just to give you some highlights of some of the things we're trying to accomplish in that episode that we just did for the students, episode number 6. The theme of today is going from our Building a Bridge to Your Future textbook that you're familiar with. Chapter 12 is getting ready for high school. So this is a focus on 8th graders. Not saying that you can't send it off to 7th graders, but they would likely repeat this conversation when they leave as 8th graders or at the end of their 8th grade year as well, because the focus is trying to get students to begin to think about CTE offerings at the high school level. We also share on the video a link to this particular document. It's a PDF document that we produce annually here at the County Office of Education in conjunction with local high schools. Each high school has a number of CTE courses that are organized into CTE pathways. So as a middle school teacher, you may not be very familiar, I know I wasn't, with the different CTE pathways at the high school level. So it would behoove you to click on that link that we offer in that PowerPoint. And it's also, by the way, on the link below in the video description on YouTube for the students and for the educator version as well. But a link to this document, it's like a bit.ly link of the CTE offerings here in Imperial County. This is important to have. Probably I would recommend printing this on an annual basis as you teach Building a Bridge to Your Future. And when it comes to chapter 4, I would incorporate this into chapter 4, because this talks about what students would do in CTE, what courses that they would take, and what pathways that they would take, and the sequencing of them while they're in high school. So that's essentially what we're doing today in our lesson. Let me just quickly share the screen with our PowerPoint that we showed them today. All right. So consistent landing page here, episode 6, high school CTE pathways. Then we defined what CTE was for students. This is the big thing that is maybe something that students likely wouldn't know, or their parents wouldn't know, is that CTE courses in high school are connected in a pathway, and it's essentially they're sequenced, and students need to know the terminology, that they need to be taken in the specific order, and that's not super complicated. So many of the pathways are just 2 courses. But it's important that students understand that when they start a CTE course, they don't want to just bump out and never complete the next course, because then they don't get to complete that CTE pathway. And we feel educationally there's a lot of research that shows that there's value in them completing that pathway. Plus, high schools are, it's a marker for achievement for high schools as well. So they're very focused on that. Okay, here's the goals for today. Let's see if I can move my little picture around here. The goal would be for students to go through this particular document that we'll show them in the next slide. I'll give them a link to it. And here's the goal: to be able to identify a CTE pathway that interests them at the high school that they're going to attend. So there's, whatever high school they attend, there's multiple CTE pathways. So we want them to think and say, which one interests me the most? Doesn't have to be a contract that they have to take it. Just which one interests me the most, and list it, and then be a good idea to kind of give me a couple of sentences, maybe a paragraph as to why they're interested in that particular pathway as opposed to any other. Just to get them thinking so that they have a concept before they get to high school. And then in this document, it talks about the A through G requirements, and that's a big thing for high school students to be aware of. And so we just kind of embedded it in there so that they knew that A through G lives in CTE as well. And so as an extra bonus goal, if there's an overachiever in the group, they can list how many A through G courses that they plan on taking in high school per letter. Like A is for history or something. You can kind of go through what each letter and what the requirements are and how many they would take. They could go above the requirement. Hopefully they can go below the requirement in each of those A through G requirements. So here are the links to what we offered today. And by the way, they're also down at the bottom of this YouTube description. Is the bit.ly CTE offerings 2020 takes you directly to this document. So I recommend the student click on that, go there and they can download it. They don't have to print it, but they can at least download it so that they can view it as a PDF a little bit easier. Then we also just listed for reference a site that we have, icoe.org/counselors, and that's a listing of all, including elementary school districts, in all counselor websites from different schools and different school districts. So hopefully your school would be represented in there as well. Pass that information along to your school counselor. But we list it so that parents and students can begin to become familiar with their high school counselor program or high school counselor specific. There's some great things happening in counseling in Imperial County, and students are going to have a lot easier of a time accomplishing the CTE pathway if they have a good conversation with their high school counselor. So we just wanted to list that there as a resource. So once again, here are the goals that we walked them through. Be able to identify a CTE pathway that interests you at the high school you will attend, and then tell me why. And then overachievers can list how many A through G courses that they're going to take in high school per the particular letter. All right. Hey, thanks for tuning in. This is a quick video, and this is number 6 out of, I think, 7. I think we just have one more. So thanks a lot for all that you do for middle school students. Hopefully we'll continue to connect with each other in our PLC for strong workforce, for lack of a better term. But thanks for all that you do for middle school students. All right, let me stop recording. Thanks, guys. See you later. Bye.